Shit, that makes sense. Alright, you Alright, you I'm gonna see if this works. If this works, get that out of the way. If this works, we're getting the video in right now. So, actually, let me get into the intro with this right now before we even start any of this. First, I apologize for not making no videos the whole month of September and only giving you guys like one in August. That's definitely on me. Hopefully you fuck with this shit right here. That's on me. I've realized that the final obstacle in my journey is my own imposter syndrome. I allow myself to beat that, then it's literally just like open season. So I appreciate you guys who've continued to sit there and wait. And even some of you who asked me if I was making any videos and asked if I was okay. I appreciate that a lot. That definitely means a lot to me coming from my circumstances. But I'm back and I'm probably going to be a lot more consistent this time. So check out the board. Get yourself excited for this episode we got coming in today. And then I will do just a little bit of explaining as to why not only Tate Mcrae is the first person we're going to analyze here, but why I've decided this is an important series that we need to add to this whole entire slosh, for lack of better terminology, of content that I've been feeding you, or I've been planning on feeding you, and I haven't allowed myself the privilege to do so. So, again, apologies for that. I want to thank you guys for being here. And I've realized that another reason, not just the imposter syndrome, but another reason as to why I don't feel like I'm producing videos as consistently, you probably already noticed as I've turned around probably 2 or 3 times, is I feel it's probably like a perfectionist mindset to where you feel you have to have everything lined up and then you can execute. But I've realized the only thing that's done is push back all the access to opportunities or resources or privileges that I could already be experiencing in this life. And I'm the one who's like pushing it away from myself. So I'm beating that by just showing up every day. Showing up when I can, showing up when I can't, showing up, just showing up. And just being this person that I know I am. And even if the world isn't validating it yet or accepting it yet, just being the person and allowing the world to kind of find its way around when it does. But it doesn't help if I'm not believing in any of these things that I'm doing, of what I've done or who I am. So just giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, of course. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Now we got that out the way. And I'm telling you, if this was like a month ago, if I didn't have that time off, I would have explained that in probably 45 minutes. So you guys should be thankful for this. But to explain why we're doing this series, or why this series actually may be not the most important, but a fairly important series as to one that we get into on this page, is because what do I want to start with? The big thing or the little thing? Let's start with the big thing. The big thing is there is a plan to run a record label. I don't know. I don't really have a good sense of time in my brain, but that is, my soul is very awakened and curious in that sense. And I do feel like becoming a music executive is something that I'll achieve in this life. So instead of just sitting here telling you guys, I've realized, why can't I take the privilege that I have of being able to speak and being able to build community around the conversations that I have? And why can't I build a community of people who have either existed in or been affected in some way by the music industry that we live in, and see if we can participate together through these conversations that we're having in understanding the current state of the industry, understanding how it's affected artists and creatives and culture in general, but more importantly, how the whole entire industry is bullish or really bankrolling, really throwing all the lives of everybody into this AI rush because they're afraid of what happened to them during the digital streaming era and Napster, not recognizing, jumping quickly into AI and abandoning the artist and the ecosystem and the community and the local economies that benefit from these creative ecosystems that employ creative skilled people. It's not going to be good, not for us creative artists, because we will always be creative. We will always be connected to the culture. We will always have it living within us. It'll be bad for the industry itself. So I've recognized that when I try to make videos speaking directly about, AI is going to take over the industry, or artists are going to come and save us from AI apocalypse, it may be too big of concepts to really dig in to share with you guys. So I've decided, why don't I take people you know, let me take an industry that you're familiar with, or you've probably become a fan of, at least some culture in there. And then why don't we analyze these stars that we see in our piss poor Gen Z pop star collective? I'm sorry if any of you guys see this. And we understand what types of futures we can see for these artists, not only in this era, but if they're able to make it through this AI slop content era, and also a super anti-intellectual, separating the art from the culture and from actual like social politics era that we're living in. Because let me not make any promises here. You know I'm bad at keeping those. So look at the board again. Look at the board. Don't look at me. I know I'm kind of sexy, but look at the board. Don't look at me. And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to conclude this part right here. Look at the board. Don't look at me. And then we will get into, what do I want to get into? I told you, I'm sorry for not making videos. Sorry for lying to you, Martin. I told you that why we're doing this, because not only am I guess I'm jumping the gun here. Not only am I building the platform, the underground online platform for creative artists in this AI slop era that we're living in, but I also feel, hey, I will run a record label at some point or some type of music business. And because of that, why don't I cultivate an audience of people who are participating in, or at least well-versed and knowledgeable in the music business, so I have an army, for lack of better terms, to go with me into making the lasting change that can actually help those of us on the ground level. Not just get a bunch of money from investors, go talk to a bunch of executives, and then make a new product that'll save a broken industry and make billions for people who don't have any artistic connections and don't plan on handing any equity or any ownership to artists, because they're just going to give it to their good-for-nothing kids who got DUIs at 15 fucking years old because they've been driving BMWs on the highway. Like, this shit is very important to me, and I've recognized it's, as a Gemini, my gift is the ability of communication, but the curse is also saying things to say things versus saying things that actually matter, because there are consequences for saying things that matter. And I've tried to really give myself the confidence and the strength to recognize my responsibility in saying things that do matter. Okay. Hopefully you guys are cool with that. Hopefully you guys can respect that we'll be doing this series once a week. We're either going to be taking a new artist on here, you guys are going to be requesting an artist, or I'm going to be just speaking on a general concept of the industry, whether it pertains to the future or the failures of the past. And we're going to see if it gets me a job. Because apparently No Land for Good Men was not good enough for you guys. Again, I haven't turned it into a book yet, but the lecture series alone I feel like is great. I feel like I'm a different person on the other side of making that. I only could imagine what would happen to you on the other side of processing all of that. But again, it is like 15 hours long. I don't want to put that on your plate if you haven't eaten all that intellectual meat yet. You know what I'm saying? Special occasion dinner only. All right, I'm talking too much. Look at that board again, because the colors are cool, huh? I love the color-codedness of my notes. This is how I used to write notes at school, and then I recognized, damn, I don't even give a fuck about what I'm taking notes on. I just care about the coloring, artistic, creative part of it. And my teacher doesn't give a shit about that. So I had to stop giving a shit about my teacher, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into this before I waste any more of your time. All right? How does that sound? Oh, that was the final thing I was going to tell you. Before we get into the promo, of course. Final thing I was going to tell you is a small part of the imposter syndrome. and the perfectionism that I was discussing earlier as to why I wasn't making these videos for you guys is like, look at my hair. Like my hair, I don't get my hair cut consistently anymore. Like I've just been, it's constantly, because I'm supporting myself. You've heard the black sheep conversation already. If you want more of it, just DM me and I'll make a video on it. But I'm learning, not that I can't take care of myself, but I'm learning how important it is to appreciate and to respect myself and to have high standards for myself. But as an artist, recognizing that sometimes the best art or the best position that I'm in to make the best art actually is in when I'm externally living in the most chaotic or the worst circumstances of my life. And as an artist, as a creative, it's important to be consistent, maybe not in posting, but in producing art, because the emotions that my art is tied to, the intellect, the experiences that my art is tied to, it's very important to be able to receive it and be living this human experience very raw and very real. So I can take that and directly put it into the art that I am responsible with giving to you guys. And this is my art. These breakdowns, the analysis, all these kind of fun and games that I play with you guys in your brain, this is my art. I'm not sure why I even decided to say that. I know I've been talking a little too much already. But let me close this out. Let's get into the promo so I can beg you to buy some of my shit or to participate in making sure that I don't live on the streets ever again. And then we're going to get into the video. The juice, the meat, whatever you like to eat. Okay, so basically over the next year, maybe the next 3 months, you're going to be hearing about 3 things from me. 4 things, but separated into 3 categories, all right? Stick with me here. These are the ways by which you can support the channel. These are the ways that you can continue to allow us to exist in the age of anti-intellectualism, rampant racism, and all the other isms that don't want people like me sharing information like this to people like you, because they know that if we get together, we're going to change the world. I did not have to do that, I'm sorry. But here are the 3 ways right here. Check out our Patreon. Because I feel guilty about asking you guys for money monthly or to subscribe to me monthly, I decided that I was going to take that course series that I was going to end up selling, not be a course selling scamming piece of shit, and give you that course weekly over the course of probably the next year to 18 months, because I think it's like 60 videos in there. And then you can just subscribe to one of the Patreon tiers and have access to that course. And we'll also do a private Discord link or maybe just a chat for the tier that you can engage with the conversations. And you can also kind of just communicate with me directly if you want any more insight on those. But that'll be a private playlist, a private section for Patreon only. And also you get ad-free videos. As one of the tiers, you get ad-free videos. And you get exclusive access to a couple of videos and behind-the-scenes content. So hopefully you're cool with that. Sadly, my behind-the-scenes content is not porn. It's just like notes that I write, because that's how all this comes together. Yeah, you're going to have to wait for me to really fall off for me to get into that. But I have a couple of friends who do that, and they're cool. So don't let this be a means to dehumanize anybody who does porn. Just recognize the fact that I'm exploring other avenues before I find myself in that ecosystem for now. All right? The intellectual sex symbol remains the intellect first. The sex symbol sometimes. Next, if you like this shirt that I'm wearing, Cosmic Nomads RebelSouls.shop. Go check it out. I even got cooler shirts on there. I'll show you a little selection of what we got going here. And here. Okay, we're probably through the selection already. All right, you guys are good. And that's another way you can support the channel. Final way is, this isn't going to be directly supporting the channel, but the important part of it will be, this is how you're going to be supporting the legacy. I have a GoFundMe up because I'm not connected to any wealthy people or investors or people who believe in, I was going to say nonchalant, but that's definitely the wrong word. In weird niche projects and want to just kind of throw money at it. The same way they want to throw money at naked women on the internet or crypto gambling games. But it's not the point. I'm looking for funding so I can write my book, No Land for Good Men, the one that I keep on referencing to you guys, and so I can build my platforms, plural, Tribal Worlds, and Creative Conscious. The reason why I'm asking for the funding, which is probably the most important part of this video and just this ask, is that my phone? Okay, good. The reason why I ask is because not only do I want time away from my traditional 9 to 5 to be able to complete this, almost like a sabbatical, and I understand how important my complete focus and attention will be on producing this product. So it's not just a collection of hastily made writings, but it's genuinely, hey, this is well thought out. This has really come together. This is edited. This is peer reviewed. This is something. And it's not just ideas, just word vomit. It's almost a story being told to me, a philosophical story. And then it gets to a point at the end where it allows me an opportunity to decide what world I want to live in with all the information that I've just been given. How fucking crazy could that be? I don't want to let my people down at all. So I want to make sure that I have the time and the focus and the environment to be able to write that book. And I hate to TMI myself, but I'm the Dark Wizard and I really don't have anything to lose. I mean, I already lost everything before. I don't come from a place of housing stability. I don't come from a foundation. And it's crazy because we were stable, but my mom was like had this like ridiculous anxiety and it was horrible. So it was just housing insecurity, financial insecurity, never knowing like if we're going to have to move out of our house or if my mom was lying about that shit or not. So I put myself in a position to think that it was okay that I didn't have the resources that I need. I didn't have the stuff that I needed. I didn't have the accommodations, the housing, the transportation, the money, the savings, the healthcare. I kept on trying to justify, well, you know what? Like if I just was perfect, if I just completed this, if I just did this, if I just did that, then everything will be okay. Then I'll make $10,000 a month. Then I'll have enough money to get out of this. Then I'll be able to pay my bills. Then my parents will love me. But it's not that at all. Like it's as a human being, and I think capitalism and the capitalist mindset or psychosis has influenced a lot of this, especially impoverished people, that you're not doing better because you're not doing enough, rather than you're not doing better because you can't afford to even take time off what you're giving yourself up to be able to invest in making yourself better or getting yourself to whatever the fuck that better is. So you keep on taking this energy drink, sleeping pill, this drink of alcohol, smoke a little joint, this extra stuff, a little bit of sex, a little bit of internet porn. Like you just take all these little concoctions and potions and whatnot to cope with your inability to address the main thing that I'm speaking on. Crazy stuff. But I've also understood that, again, the reason why I'm asking for the money from the GoFundMe is because I don't just need money to like exist. I need money to do these projects right. And that's what I've recognized. My life isn't a matter of I need 10 years, I need this certification, I need this degree. It's a matter of, can I get these projects developed? Can I get the book written? Can I get the apps built? And can I get people using them and people reading them? And it's weird because I will be the same exact person that I was before. I mean, the person that I am right now, after that shit gets recognized at the level I know it should. But the world will finally be able to see me in a light that allows me the opportunity to pay my fucking bills, where I'm not stressing about rent and stressing about all that extra shit. I know it's weird, maybe sound a little narcissistic, but recognize that's the world that we live in, bro. If you don't produce anything, especially as a man in this society, and especially produce something that you can sell, or produce something that creates value in other people's lives to provide for them, even outside of financially, you're pretty much valueless. For more insight, go check out my lecture series, No Land for Good.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah. If you'd like to support the channel, and damn, that was a long little promo, but you're going to hear about those for basically until the book is written, until the project is out, the Creative Conscious is out, and Tribal Worlds. The Patreon, the course series is just going to be happening. If you want to be a part of that, be a part of that. And Cosmic Nomads, get them while you can, while supplies last. And finally, we're getting ready. 15 minutes in at this point. How about we get this video started? Okay, guys. Everyone, get your thinking caps on. Actually, you want to know another interesting conversation we can have right now? You know the reason why I decided that I was going to make this video series is because I think that being too intellectual makes you depressed. Especially in the reality that we live in. If you're willing to look at reality as it is, it'll make you so fucking depressed that you don't want to think. Or you don't want to do anything. You want to escape into something that just feels better or feels good or distracts you from how sick and how cruel this world is. And I don't want us, especially us intellectual people, us creative people, to abandon our intellect because it's just so blatant, the amount of dehumanization and the amount of just absolute atrocity that's happening. So instead of abandoning it completely, we got to use it on something. Maybe we just study though. Maybe this is our time. Instead of going out and screaming in the streets, maybe this is our time to really, really, really observe to finite levels what reality we live in. This reality that's actively being destroyed to convince us that the apocalypse is happening. And figure out if the destruction of the modern world that we live in is happening intentionally, it means that somebody has the intention of surviving to the other side. This is going to get existential, so I apologize. If the world is being actively destroyed, whether it's by the withholding resources, it's by destroying the economy, it's by a bunch of random legislation that's meant to like implode the country, social division, the person who's orchestrating that division, that type of suffering, understands that if this all collapses on itself, they will, or assuming they have enough to invest in the rebuilding of whatever that destruction is, allowing it to be built in their image almost completely, being the builders of the new world. Now, if we as poor people just won't survive because we're too poor to survive, or because these data centers turn the homes and the houses that we live in into freaking Chernobyl part fucking 500, so be it. Like, that's it. If we're not meant to survive this, then literally so be it. Like, we're not gonna survive. You can't even worry about that because these billionaires won't survive that long after that either. Now, the part that I want to get to is, and this also recognizes the whole underground aspect of why I do what I do. But the important thing for me and for you guys too is to allow these people who are destroying this world that we've built together, allow them to destroy it themselves. Recognize that you still have a life outside of their salvation, outside of their apocalypse, outside of their Armageddon, outside of all that. You still have a life and a purpose and ancestors and spirituality and backing and genealogy and history. Especially if you look like this, you have history that lasts hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years before people that look like this. So you have to wonder why, when they are afraid of the world ending, why do you share the same fear? They need you just as afraid of them so you can beg on their God to save you, knowing that their God only listens to them and only cares to save them. Because how do you do manifest destiny and delete 100 million people out of their homeland and say that that was the will of your God? Where was your God when these people were getting ripped out of their homes and genocided? To promote the vision, the meth-induced vision of colonizers or colonists, pilgrims. The point is, Don't look at yourself as a billionaire. Don't look at yourself as a fucking music executive. Don't look at yourself as like, I'm not credible because I don't have 100,000 followers in the music industry, so I can't speak on music. I didn't get sued by Drake in that UMG lawsuit, so I can't speak on music. Think about you as a person who lives in a world where music is so potent and so widespread that people who are successful in it have much, much, much more power and influence than you could ever imagine. And that power and influence has lasting impacts towards our society that transform not how we believe and how we engage, but how we express ourselves and how we feel our own humanity. So as a consumer of music, as a creator of music, as a developer of music, as a producer of music, as somebody who is just involved in this space, your opinion is valid and it's credible. Now, is it valid enough to be used to actually push the culture forward? Probably fucking not. But we have these conversations because we need to let the people know that we can save a handful of these pop stars. And with saving a handful of these pop stars, we can leverage them into creating just enough of a window of space to just inject all of this new talent and then allow this class of Gen Z, lower millennial, new age stars, Gen Alpha probably too, to carry this new age, this new ecosystem of creative arts into the future. That's what I believe in. The world beyond the rubble that we're creating right now, that you guys don't see yet, but will definitely come to be. So you guys ready for this or what? Tate Mcrae. Who listens to Tate Mcrae here? Let me make sure this is still recording. Okay, perfect window. Who listens to Tate Mcrae here? I know I'm asking a rhetorical question because you guys aren't here, but hopefully you said yes. And if you didn't, an album I'd like to recommend isn't even that most recent one, Miss Possessive. I want to recommend Think Later. Holy shit, bro. I'm making a video about Tate Mcrae, and I don't even know what the fuck the album is called. Hold on, guys. I'm not gonna cut this because I'm almost sure it's called Think Later. What a dumbass. Like, why the fuck did I not just look this up? What a fucking dumbass. Okay, I'll be honest, it's probably not important. It's probably not important. Whatever. I'm just gonna put a picture of it right here. We still got time. I'm just gonna put a picture of it right here. You guys are gonna see it. Yeah, she is sexy in that picture. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Also, one more disclaimer that I want to include. When I'm speaking about terms like sexy and beautiful and sexual and sensual and those like almost intimate descriptive terms, I want you to know that I'm not trying to objectify the person that I'm speaking of. I'm speaking about this purely in like an energetic sense. Like, is this person giving off sex appeal? Is this person giving off like big dick energy? Like, is this person like, yeah, like chest out? That's me. You. That I'm very descriptive and very, very exact into the words that I use because I hate being misunderstood. And I happen to use a lot of curse words too when I do that, or just be very abrasive. So I just want to make sure that I'm giving that disclaimer, one, and apology, second, because that's going to have to follow when you guys get mad at me anyway. But now that we got that out the way, let's discuss what the hell genre is Tate Mcrae in? What the fuck do we think is going to happen with this girl? What do we think? If you're made it to this part in the video, write in the comment, what do you think is going to happen with Tate? You think she makes it over the next 5 years and she's still doing music, making new albums? You think so? I think there's a possibility it can happen. And it's not just with the investor money of a record label. I genuinely believe she can really have like a lasting career even if the industry decides to implode itself. Again, I've seen a handful of opinions that have said that this is a copycat Britney Spears. This is a fake pop star. She's not that good. She can't sing. Pretty sure she has asthma. So that may be the thing that you really didn't know, and you may have said that, but maybe that may have played into it a little bit. But I'm not sure. Again, to each their own. You don't have to like the people that I like. I don't have to like the people that you like. That's what you're here for. Just have a decent conversation about creative arts. This girl is fighting to be the pop princess. But I don't think she has to fight. Genuinely speaking, I think it's more important that she is a part of the collective that is Gen Z women pop stars, or the future of Gen Z American pop, rather than trying to just fight to just knock down everybody like the whole Taylor Swift monopoly has. Because you sit here and think, okay, Taylor Swift gets all her music out. She makes an album every year, every 2 years, sells her 100 million records to her 100 million Disney adult fans. And then what is this doing for the culture? It's just taking up market space. It's taking up shows. It's upgrading ticket prices. It's doing all this shit that's negative for the average, the independent creative, that the young white girl that could be inspired to be her, but it's going purely pro the broken system of business. The broken music business is pro making her a billionaire, pro all this like elitist stuff. And it's so anti-culture. So can we, as people who listen to white girl pop music, especially people who are not white girls, can we create a window for these white girl pop stars to actually be more than what they are going to be used as? Can we allow them to expand beyond just objects, to be objectified and seen and heard only when they sing, not when they care about social issues or events? Can we allow them to be more real, creative, cultured people? All right? All right. In the white girl pop, like we're gonna start this video off with just a little progression as to Tate's career. First, I think her first big pop-up song, other than the whole career she had on YouTube making videos, which is a sign that you guys should get on YouTube and start making more videos too, because why the fuck would you not? I mean, this girl was making video after video after video, vlogs, all that type of shit, and got a record deal. Again, she is very aesthetically pleasing, and she's a very talented singer, and she had a very loving family supporting her along the way. So those are things that maybe you can't buy and you can't have, or you don't have, and they're stopping you. And I, again, have sympathy for you. But don't discredit the talent here, all right? I think she got on with this. White girls love a nasally white girl sad song. They love a sad song about, I loved you, you broke my heart, tore it into pieces, and I had to pick up the parts. But it's okay, because I'll live another day, and I'll find another lover who's richer than you and has a giant lumberjack cock and just throws it in my wet vagina all I'm kidding about the last part. But there's something in every single one, even the competitors of Tate Mcrae, every single one of these girls has one of those songs. I don't know what the fuck it's called either, but it's like a sad song, but it's pseudo sadness. It's like, okay, well, I got to talk about a breakup. I got to talk about a shit friend. I got to talk about my parents hate me, but not really, because my parents love me. I have all the friends, and everyone wants to be my friend, and everyone wants to date me. So it's like ChatGPT. How do you write about poor people issues in rich girl language? And it's deep, but not deep music. They love that shit. I mean, just think about white boys and punk rock music, 70s, 80s, 90s. This was all anti-establishment music, and the only thing that these guys got out of it was rage, slam your heads, yeah. That girl just put her shirt up, and I see boobies, yeah. Like, that's all they got out of that. Like, how did you miss all the government's brainwashing you? This is doing that. These people, politicians don't care about you. They're sending poor people to war. This. How did you missed all of that to just go with girls? I drink beers. Yeah. Slam on my head. Yeah. Crazy. Absolutely, not even crazy, just absolutely insane. We'll say it like that. All right? It's the deep but not deep Coles Pop. And then I'm glad that this lady decided to make the transition into this, which I think is a good move. And I made a video on my TikTok saying that I don't believe the current music industry knows how to use sex as a means of selling the artist properly. It's like they're just selling sexualized artists to gooner communities, or to just like gooner consumers who are like, okay, well, really, I don't care about the artist, the album, or the music, or the art. I just care about a picture of her so I can like jerk off to it. Like, that's not cultivating an authentic fan base. That's not caring about fans. That's not bringing fans into a community of other fans that they can learn from, grow with, build the artist with. That's just taking money out of somebody's hands who's literally jerking off with the other one. And let's hope that person doesn't ever end up coming into the real world to meet this person that they're jerking off to. Genuinely. But we're going to take their money until they do. And then it becomes a real issue. And then we sue them for the rest of the $30 that they have in their bank account. All right. But it's not like that. I'm going to try to find that video on my TikTok and then probably just plug it in here, the part that I really meant. The real main aspect of that conversation that keeps on coming up, it's not just me, but as I've seen other people speak about it, is, well, what if that was your daughter that was wearing those clothes, like those outfits, and dancing like that, and like shaking her ass, and like doing these things where like cleavage on the shirt and all of this? Like, what if that was your daughter, your seed, knowing this world we live in? You'd let that happen? And I'm sitting here thinking, well, and again, this also ties into my conversation about stripping. When we're not looking at the sensuality as a means of performance for validation, or performance for an external force, and we're thinking about it as, I am going within, feeling a groove in my body, and I'm expressing the groove I feel from within as a means of self-acceptance. The inside is dysregulated from the outside world, and that dysregulation can only be regulated by me expressing what I feel on the inside, outside of myself. Contrary to what the rest of the world does, suppress how they feel on the inside unless it will give them the validation they want on the outside. This is why you don't look at strippers or pole dancers, or you look at, you hypersexualize or you oversexualize these people. You don't allow them the freedom to have this for themselves. You almost automatically think it's for a man. They're doing it for a man, doing it for a man. But you don't think about the trauma release that comes from shaking your hips, that comes from being able to stretch and to get deep in your hips. I mean, literally the lowest, best possible option on that list of benefits that come from being able to shake your body and to move your hips and to groove is having better sex. That's the lowest of the best options. Trauma release, flexibility, better bowel movements, so many things, better positive benefits that come from this. And we're automatically just, this person is acting like that because they want to be sexed. And it's weird because the person who's perceiving it, especially if it's a man perceiving it, from a woman especially, it's, well, because I'm entitled to ownership or domination over this subhuman species, I'm going to assume that she's doing this for sex, and I'm going to assume in an entitled manner that this performance is for me to validate sexing this girl. Rather than recognizing this is how we dance to music, and people can be themselves and shake their body and share themselves in this space, and they're safe to do so without anybody assuming that there's any sexualized intent with it. That's why you guys have to start clubbing with the gays more. Obviously, leave the homophobia, not at home. Leave the homophobia in hell. In hell. But that's why you guys start clubbing with the gays more. That's what I realized. As a straight dude, when you club with the gays, it's people aren't outside for the sake of, okay, the gays get down. Especially the gays get down. From conversation that I've heard, and especially with my homies, the gays get down. So it's like, I'm not saying the gays just don't be having sex. But one thing about the gays when they party, especially when they go clubbing, is they know how to have a good fucking time. Because it's about being yourself. They already fight in their everyday to be themselves. Even women fight to feel comfortable expressing themselves in those ways because they know they're already being sexualized just by existing. So one thing that they do in their gay bars and the gay clubs is that they're having a good time. They're dancing, they're listening to the music, they're doing karaoke, they're doing all these things. But then in the straight people clubs, the normal people clubs, what are people doing? Doing TikTok dances, staring at each other, posting videos on Instagram, taking videos of other people actually having fun, putting that on Instagram, making fun of them because that's the only satisfaction your can get in this world, and not having a good time. It's not even, this is what you guys don't get. You guys don't fucking get. The music's not good. Sorry, TMI, the drugs aren't good. The alcohol's watered down. Nothing is good. So you're not even having a good time there. And then the expectation, if you're going to have sex, the expectation for the sex has to be so high because it has to compensate for how piss poor the rest of your experience is. It's not even like you can enjoy that. It's not even like you're going from good to great experience. It's like you're going from, well, I hoped it was good. Now I have to make it way better. And if this isn't way better, then I'm going to go online and complain about how horrible the club is, how horrible life is, how horrible social culture is, blah, 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 blah. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Passionate. It's not anger, it's passion. That's why I'm going to be single for a long time because I got to figure out how to make sure that I can keep the passion locked in. But okay, that was us speaking about just like the hypersexualized nature of not only women, but of just dancing and self-expression and how we're not allowed to appreciate that in our society. And it stops us from appreciating the value of these sex symbols or of the people who've taken the role of the sex symbol. This is the perfect person to ask. Because, and this is, I had to add her, especially as I'm speaking about sex symbols, because the route and the reason why I'm comfortable with the girls sexualizing themselves, not just externally guys doing it because, oh, that girl's dancing like that or she's wearing that, so I want to go feel up on that. I'm saying I'm cool with the girls sexualizing themselves because what I've come to realize from my conversation with the very intellectual ladies in my community and studying those who I'm inspired by in the real world, it's not this overt means of sexuality and intimacy. It's self-expression, just like we were describing a little bit earlier. I go within, I feel this way within, and it wants to express itself, whether it's through speech and through music, it's through dancing and through collaborating, it's through feeling other people, it's through appreciating other people and what they have to do or express. But this is how I feel, so I express as a consequence of how I feel. And the music externally awakens this within me. Okay? So I say that, especially as it pertains to women and liberation and women's freedom and autonomy, to be able to look at oneself and to see beyond the shame, especially the shame of like women and their sexuality as it pertains under patriarchy. If we have women who are able to say, yes, I like sex, like Sabrina Carpenter does this. Yes, I like sex. Yes, I like this. Or yes, I do this kind of raunchy behavior on my live shows. Or yes, I'm not afraid to talk about I slept with this person, I do this, or maybe I got an abortion or something. None of them have yet, I don't assume, but just the fact that you have these women who are doing this not because they're trying to get chosen by men, but because they want to show it's okay to be this as a woman. It's okay to be confident and to share your inner depth with the world and to still be confident in this, to wear whatever you like and to still be protected and validated in your womanhood, to say what you want and be appreciated for how you feel, to live how you want to live and be supported in that. If it's not the way that society wants to break the back of your knees and bend you down to their will. All right? It's important. These sex symbols are important, but if you don't have a team of people behind them that make sure that the whole sexualizing thing is conscious and comes with conscious intention, then you're just going to have a bunch of Sydney Sweeneys who are just like, you see my big old titties? You see my big old titties? You're going to buy this bath soap, aren't you? Aren't you, you gooner? You're going to buy this bath soap, huh? You see my big old fucking titties? That's what it is. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad because it's not that Sydney Sweeney is not talented. It's that her sexualized being was used for the male gaze. Hey, we can sell your body or the illusion of being able to sleep with your body to all these dudes who will buy this just because they think that you've touched it, your DNA is on it, or because they think that they're having sex with you. Like the freaking, the soap with the hole in the middle of it. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? No, the soap with the hole in the middle, dude, come on. I'm sorry, bro. And I still, none of this will make me hate Sydney Sweeney, bro. Because it's not even her doing it, bro. It's a bad management team. It's a family of ignorant people. It's the trends are going in the wrong direction, and she just happens to be one of the most famous people in the space, which is the most credible to use for these campaigns. And let's admit it, bro. She's. I guess we're having a side conversation now. I'm sorry. These are going to be tangent episodes. I think the reason why they want to use Sydney Sweeney so bad, and they like people like Taylor Swift, who are basically average girls who they just sell this is the greatest human being on planet Earth, is because they're just average enough to not be too unsettling to other white women, so other white women can be inspired to be them, but not just intimidated by how gorgeous or how amazing they are. Hence, Megan Fox didn't have a lot of friends in this, especially from the feminist community. Megan Fox didn't have a lot of friends because she was so overtly chosen by dudes, even beyond her own will. She was so overly chosen by dudes when she spoke anything about femininity or about her life or her struggles as it pertains to finding community with women, always shut down. Because it's well, the men already choose you, so shut the up. So, see? When you're gorgeous, you're too intimidating to other women. That's a problem, especially when it pertains to white women, because white women fucking hate each other. They just don't. They're apart from each other enough to not know it or to not think about it. Or maybe they just hate other colors of women, especially black women, so much that they would rather be in these communities of fear and insecurity with their own race rather than expand beyond the insecurity cult and actually start to appreciate and love other types of people. Not just on black men, other types of people. Okay. I hope I didn't forget what point I was at here, because I was we're having a great conversation here. Let me clip this, get back to it, and we're going to keep this conversation going. Okay, we're speaking about why Sydney Sweeney was chosen. So she's not intimidatingly gorgeous. She's pretty. She's cute. Very cute. And this is from a dude's perspective. So obviously, she's hot. And she has big titties, bro. I know that's obvious, but Let me make sure I'm saying this right. I don't want to fuck this part of the conversation up. It's not the face intimidation that sets her off. It's her. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm trying to find a way to say this and like just say exactly what I'm trying to say without needing to like repeat myself 100 times. There's this weird fascination. I don't know if it's an American fascination or if it's an elite, super rich male fascination with like big boobs on petite bodies. I'm not sure where that comes from. A side reference that I'll make to this point and why I'm struggling to make the rest of this point is Sophie Rain. And not only petite, but like young faces. I hope this makes sense. Like, I really don't want to have this conversation misinterpreted whatsoever. But she's average, but she carries something that's beyond like extraordinary. That is her boobs. And that is something that's not like white women can still compete with small boobs, big boobs by just getting a breast enhancement or a breast reduction. Or they can compete with like facial features with getting Botox and all that. But she's the perfect case for middle America. Just, she looks like a girl that you'd see in your city at freaking Walmart, bro. Or at Trader Joe's or at Target. You just go to the store and you see this girl and you go like, that girl's beautiful. Like, I want her phone number. That. But she just happens to be a freaking nationally, probably even globally at this point, renowned actress. Now, that will allow us to conclude the part of this video that's speaking about me being okay with the sexualization of these girls, or at least them sexualizing themselves as it pertains to their self-expression. But it's just, do you have a team of people around you that are going to help you reinforce that you're not doing this for the validation of dudes, the validation of other people, trying to be picked by a husband or anything, or trying to be picked by a bunch of gooner consumers? It's, I'm doing this because I'm confident in my body. I may not have the beauty standard body, but I am confident in my body. And that type of inspiration, inspiring other people who feel like shit, who feel less than, who feel like they're not being picked or validated in their communities because they don't meet the standard. It gives you space to not be constricted into this cookie cutter, what I'm supposed to be a female pop star. It gives your fans space to recognize there's space for us in this community. We don't have to meet this pretty girl privilege standard. We don't have to meet this so-and-so. Everyone gets freaking this type of hair or this type of nail, this type of bleaching, skin tanning, whatever. Like, we can be here because the person that we look up to and we love because of the art, because of the fashion, because of her dances, the person we look up to is doing this not because she just like doesn't like herself and is just sexualizing herself so anybody can come me. It's, I am who I am and I'm sharing that with the world. And that may make you afraid, but I'm not ashamed of myself anymore. I'm not covering myself up anymore. I'm not hiding myself anymore. I'm sharing myself with y'all, with the world, with the people out there. Because I know there's people who feel me, who understand me, who love me and care about me. And when they see this, they will be inspired to be more accepting of themselves or more expressive of themselves on their journey. And that's what I'm here for. Not to be picked. I've already picked myself. I pick myself every fucking day. Because I understand the consequences of not picking yourself. And even worse than that, the consequences of waiting for other people to pick you, especially people that you wouldn't even respect if you were in a position had you already been picked. That's what I'm saying. Understand, especially as a dude, bro. Like, I feel like everything, like 93% of the shit that goes on in a dude's brain is just like somehow tied to sex. Like, if you can just stop, especially as it pertains to human beings, especially women, if you can just stop thinking like sex, stop thinking that. And stop thinking, I've just seen a scenario go on right now, and it's just fucking hilarious to me. But then you will start to understand these types of perspective, especially as it pertains to the arts. Because then we can start leveraging sensuality and the understanding of sex and sexuality to a lot deeper, more conscious levels than the one that we're allowing in our society. The jerk off society that we live in. And this girl can make a pop song too. Tate Mcrae can make a fucking pop song, bro. My favorite song from her, and this isn't even her like poppest pop song, but my favorite song from Tate Mcrae right now, which is why I believe that she's going to be a rock star in a few years, if not if she isn't right now, is We're Not Alike. Tell me why every time I bring up like I don't know how to oh. She said she was a good girl, that's a lie. Said she broke my heart, but she had the knife. And I went in the air, but she did it twice. And you wonder why, we're not alike. Go listen to that song right now. I love it. I love you, Tate. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But I believe that Tate Mcrae knows how to make a pop song. That's not an issue. She has an amazing team of people who are helping her write songs. I've heard that she's worked with Ryan Tedder, who's an amazing freaking person, makes amazing freaking music, made his own catalog of amazing fucking music. Ryan Tedder's the guy from One Republic, right? Yeah, I fucking thought so. ChatGPT, how many records did One Republic sell in their career? That's what I fucking thought. There's two directions that Tate's career can go. Let's make sure this is still recording, because you know I like to talk that. There's two directions that Tate's career can go, because as much as I said I accept the pop diva status, I want to remind you guys that, or not the pop diva, the sex symbol. I want to remind you guys that doesn't last forever. That's like going into the rap game as a gangster and expecting to make it last 20 years. Like, grow your ass the up, bro. You're just selling ads for companies and like nostalgia at that point. You're like Jim Jones. Like you ain't no motherfucking Jay-Z, bro. The pivot is the most important part. It's not only something that we can appreciate Jay-Z for. I don't really like the guy personally because he's done a whole lot of personal shit, but we're not going to get into that. It's, can you pivot knowing that you're in a trend, knowing that you are living in a trend? White girl pop music is one of the most trendy environments ever. Literally. Can you pivot from the trend into another trend, into another trend, into a lifestyle that is not a trend and allows you to actually live it? Or can you pivot until you find your lane that you can actually live in and then thrive in that lane whenever it is you get there? I believe this, especially as Tate is what is she, 22, 23? She's young. She's very attractive. I mean, to me. I don't know if it's like a black thing, but I am very attracted to like thick women. And like Tate Mcrae, she's not like thick. As it pertains to like black women, of course, like Tate's like not thick. Tate's just like an average girl. Like black women be thick. And not just thick, but like round thick. Like white women, they have like a different type. White women, I like to call white women thick like a low-rise jean thick or like a low-rise bikini thick. And black women are just like thick in everything. Again, not just a blanket statement. Of course, it pertains to certain demographics. And of course, blah, 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 blah. Back to the conversation. I said Tate. And I was saying it's a black thing, a black person. I'm not sure how any of that pertained to what I was trying to tell you guys. Let's keep going because I'm already running out of time. Like, I'm cutting into this shit. Okay, this is what I was going to say. Dang, this is why I don't clip the video. She's young. She's attractive. She's very influential. She's beautiful, bro. Like, and maybe I've already said it too much too, but when I'm thinking of Tate McCrae, and I'm somebody who went to, revealing a little bit of myself here, I went to Norco High School in California, Southern California, in Horsetown, USA. That's what they fucking called themselves. And Tate McCrae is like a 10 out of 10 from Norco. But then I also remember that, like, I don't know if everyone's experience from Norco was like my experience from Norco. Because when I went to Norco, every girl there was bad. Every girl there was bad. But it's like when I was, now we're getting into, like, it's like my high school huddle highlights. I'm sorry. And if any of you girls from freaking high school find this, don't make fun of me. But I'm telling you, it's so weird. It's not like a suburban super rich bad. It's like a natural white girl bad. And that's what Tate McCrae has, at least to me. She has like this real, like, natural kind of like almost like country town, just regular person face, but like really, really, really beautiful regular person face. And she's thick, and she's can dance, and she's flexible as fuck. I was not supposed to include that there. I just had to because I knew you guys were going to ask anyway. So it's like, that works. But we don't want to do a Miley Cyrus. We don't want to do a, hey, we're just throwing you in this black space with this black music, acting black. And of course, it's not that for her. It's just she's a dancer. But we don't want to just throw her in this space like, okay, we're sexualizing you and getting every dime we can get out of this until we have to try to make the world respect you as like a trad wife or some shit. Because that's the only pivot you can take after going hyper male gaze sexualized. All right. So if we are to assume that this is not going to last, because again, you should probably age. If you don't want to age, like, you could probably age out of that. And we'd want you to age out of that because we want you to have the time in your life, especially as a woman, to explore yourself as it pertains to your sex and your sexuality. And then to, once you find that clarity, or at least you've developed that intention for what experiences you want to have, find that lane and live in that lane. Whether it's one boyfriend, whether it's 10 suitors that just serve your every will, and you're just the dominant femme who just kind of owns them all. It's find your lane, and that's what I think this age is too, of the sex symbol type of energy. It's, yeah, I'm reckless a little bit, maybe, and women are supposed to be super ashamed of their sexuality and their sexual experiences. But maybe it's reckless, but it doesn't matter because this is me finding myself. And as long as I'm learning and growing and developing a deeper, more loving, caring relationship with myself along the way, and it only grows deeper and stronger no matter how far apart from myself I feel like I'm torn because of this experience, then it's good because life is good because I am me and I am accepting responsibility over being myself. The reason why I'm saying this won't last is because we want, as an artist, we don't want you to feel like you have to lean on, like the only way people are going to buy records from you is because you're a sex symbol or you're a sex object, especially as a woman. We want to force the world to appreciate you as an artist, and then all the aesthetic aspects of it, they can just come afterwards. But fundamentally, it's not just you selling sex. It's not just you opening your pussy and putting it on freaking Front Street. It's you are an artist, an amazing artist, and you express yourself in a variety of different ways, allowing you to impact people many ways every day. Two directions I think this route goes. When you decide to kind of put up and again, she may not, like, I think the pop diva is in like pop your hips out when you're taking a step and do a real model strut. Like that type of shit, I feel like that can go forever. And the songs that last, she has to have writers who actually make songs like that. In the sense, like write songs like Beyonce writers or like Rihanna writers, in the sense that you're getting good Timbaland beats and you're just screaming on them things. But what hip hop producers do we have right now that are making authentic '05 beats? Yeah. Two positions that you go after being a pop princess as a white girl, specifically for Tate Mcrae: country music or the Taylor Swift propaganda route. I lie about all my social activism. I act like I'm some kind of feminist because I just learned what that word was yesterday. But I'm a billionaire and I still submit to patriarchy. And I make music for MAGA people. And I make music with Morgan Wallen. Tate, I'm still disappointed in that, but I understand it's for the career. It's not for, what's it? Making a song with, I hope you guys understand, making a song with Morgan Wallen is like making an R&B song as a female with, or as a woman, forgive me, with Chris Brown, or what's the other one? Making a hip hop song or a pop song with Drake, or there's another one. Making a rap song with NBA Youngboy, or getting Youngboy to feature on your regular song that needs a rap verse. Youngboy sells hella records every week. You want Youngboy on your record, especially if you don't sell. Morgan Wallen sells hella records every week. So you want that. But the reason why I even made this video is because I knew that first collaboration with Morgan Wallen and the disgust that Tate's fans had for her was a good sign. Because it's a sign that, hey, we don't like this dude, bro. We don't like this dude. We don't like his energy. We don't like what he brings. It doesn't matter how many records he sells. We don't like the vibe or the energy or none of that. And we don't want our baby girl going in that lane. That's how your fans look at you. You're one of ours. All right? But that's just the easy cop-out route. That pertains back to the conversation we had maybe 15 minutes ago speaking about Sydney Sweeney getting co-opted for the whole MAGA shit. Taylor Swift getting co-opted for the whole MAGA shift with this last album. Everyone, and I'm telling you, there are probably bags on bags on bags getting thrown on that countryside. Post Malone went to the countryside. Not because he probably doesn't even hate rap music. He went to the countryside because these country wine moms are going to freaking throw thousands of dollars to come see you perform live. And they're not going to care about, well, do you respect the culture? Culture vulture? Cultural appropriation? Cultural appropriation? Cultural appropriation? You make their country music, you act drunk like a fool on stage, bro, and you somehow do some talent with the guitar or with the drums. You make them white people feel something in their freaking tight tailbones. Oh, they'll love you forever. Come on now. Come on now. Don't be fucking stupid. It's an easy cash grab. Why a side conversation, why are all the comedians going out to freaking Saudi Arabia or wherever the they're going with these billionaires? Every single comedian. Saudi Arabian prince wants to throw an event and he's going to spend $1 billion there. Like, where the fuck do you think these people have the money to do this type of shit? And then you start hearing about the like slave labor conditions in Dubai. All right, let me stop. What I believe the direction, let me make sure this is still recording. I'm scared I'm talking to myself. Good. The direction I believe that Tate can go, if you want to hire me onto the team, go ahead and do so. But the direction I believe that Tate can go, if she wants to save her career, this will at least save it 7 to 10 years. Rock music, some kind of rock album, and she needs to either scream on it, and if she's not screaming on it, there needs to be a great fucking, like just great session players behind this girl. Great session players. I don't know if you're going to make a band out of it, because obviously like that band shit, it's like, it's brotherhood, sisterhood type stuff. Those people, the best bands grow up together. Grew up doing shitty clubs, going to fucked up parties, sleeping with the same girl or the same dude. Like, The best bands do it all together. Like a whole marriage, bro. I don't think you can take a solo pop star and just force her into a band. But I definitely do think that a band behind her and her doing some rock music, like some Pink, I don't even think I put her on here. I'm sorry about that. Katy Perry had a rock era in her lane. I kissed the girl and I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I kissed the girl just to try it. It works, especially if the rock tunes are good. The guitar is, and when the drums are, and the bass is in that motherfucker. And somebody on the saxophone in the back like, no, I'm playing. But we need Tate doing rock music. The reason why I brought up the song I liked, We're Not Alike, is because that sounds like an alternative indie rock song that I think white people love. Like a Tame Impala type shit. White people love that alternative, new wave, whatever you want to call it. Tate was supposed to be great in that, not the sad girl, white girl music. I'm talking about that type of, I think melancholy is the right word to use, type music. If I'm not using the right word, I'll appropriate, I'll fix it with the right word I'm trying to say. Now, at the same time as she's exploring rock music, because that applies heavily American, but it can scale globally, the global focus for her to make sure that she still has global audiences, but not just forcing American propaganda music down their throats, being able to engage almost collaboratively with other cultures, you have to start doing Afro beats. The song that she has called Revolving Door, did a revolving door, that is, Rima should have been on that song, and that's an Afrobeat song. And the dance in there, it should have been African dancers with you. Like, I understand you want to incorporate like dancers from like your clique and your gang and your friends and all that. You should have had some type of African trouble. You don't understand. There are dudes in these African tribes that you think don't do nothing but just put mud and shit all over their private parts to cover themselves up. Like, there are African people who can, like, you don't understand. And it's this white supremacist logic that stops you from looking beyond the surface and seeing the Wakanda that is existing in front of everybody's eyes, but you won't see it because these people aren't driving in Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis. They're walking to meet people. They're spending time with their family. They're working and receiving the benefits of their productivity. They're not waiting to get a cut of the profit that comes from their productivity. It's like they're living so much more intellectually than us. They're so much more detached from this material salvation that all of us are just in this psychosis of chasing. But Afro beats, you're going to have to start, like, you're a dancer. You're going to have to get on Afro beats. And I pray that the rap music and rap and hip hop gets taken over by the girls, black women, by the girls and the gays too, because the gays make good ass fucking music. And there starts to open up a space for better, like not only better, but great beat makers to come back to life, get great artists on great beats. And then we can start taking those like underground black cultural hip hop groovy type shit and then start spreading it out to the mainstream through these artists like Tate Mcrae and Sabrina Carpenter and whatnot, because you have to understand this world is too racist, especially America. It's too racist to receive great pop music or great music directly from one of us. And we're going to have to do a collab with these people or get a remix done or something. I know you guys may hear me say that, but that's just the state of reality, bro. You let a felon, Donald Trump, become president and just start pissing all over this world in his golden fucking image. So blame yourselves for that. We won't have a black pop star. We won't have a Michael Jackson, none of that shit. We won't have that for a couple of years, bro. Until society is really ready to receive that. We're closer to getting the Nazis from 1930s Germany than we are an equitable society. I just want to remind you guys of that right now before we keep going here. But Afrobeats, and it's not necessarily because like you have to be like this lover of Africans or of Latino Latinx music. It's recognizing that as a dancer, dance and music are one of those things that have no race, have no gender. They have no identity. It's accessed by who can feel it. If you're somebody who can feel it, and Tate, you are a dancer. You can dance. You can throw that body around. I seen you do that. I couldn't even get my leg up high enough. The shit that she did, the VMAs, that's the wildest shit I've seen in my entire life, bro. So, we need more, and those can be like anthem songs. Did I already say it? Revolving Door is the song. Revolving Door is the song that I believe personally is an Afrobeat song. Yeah. And then we described how basically these dance songs, or these will become mainstream hits or anthems because we've attached them to, or we've funneled them through, white artists. And a lot of you talented African songwriters, and whether it's like Afro beats or if it's reggae or Latinx music, I hate I'm saying Latinx. I know you guys want me to say Latino, but it's just like I'm trying to be inclusive here. I'm American. We're too woke. The important part is not like they're stealing our music. It's going back to recognizing how influential our like ethnic culture is in artistic culture. And white people can't just eat our food or consume our art directly. They have to have it completely, not desensitized, but they have to have it really, really, really diluted. Like it's like handing a white person a jalapeno, a ghost pepper, and that's just our raw, authentic culture. And then they literally like rip their jaw down because they're like, I can't feel this anymore. Or it's like saying, okay, well, instead of giving you a ghost pepper, why don't I give you ketchup? And they're like, yeah. Okay, let's make sure this is still recording because, dude, did I tell you guys that I have a stalker in this library? Like, one of the dudes that works here, I hope you watch my videos, man. I hope you watch my videos. But one of the dudes that work here, like, he swears that, like, I can't see him, but, like, he only pulls routes out that are, like, right, surveilling me. I don't know if anyone's played Harry Potter on the DS. I think the Lego version of that game. There's this one mission in there where you're basically supposed to not... No. Even better reference, because that transphobic J.K. Rowling. Pac-Man. Literally, like, you're supposed to try to not get eaten or not fall in the same line as those freaking... like, or you're not supposed to get caught from behind. Okay, now I'm just saying a bunch of bullshit right now. I'm sorry, bro. Let me stop. Okay. Are we cool with that, though? Like, do you guys understand? This is Tate. Like, this... We can see, I can see this girl making it. I'm telling you, even like through an era of AI artists where like they just create 5 white girls and they go, we're going to use these 5 AI robots and just clear house out here. Like nobody's going to want to hear a freaking new white pop star ever. I don't believe in this AI art shit. I'm telling you right now. Because you have to sit here and think. Think about how expensive it is to maintain right now. And they're still selling us dreams. If you're an AI company and you're using AI heavily, AI writes all of our code. AI writes all of our music. You're going to spend more time over the next 10, 20 years either just burning out money and then not having any to keep spending, or you're going to spend all your money training the AI how to be a human and failing because you could just invest a fraction of that money into training a human who may or may not be talented enough. And then, I don't know, respecting the humanity of that human as they're allowed to share their gift with you. Your fans through this AI age of artists and shit, your fans will carry your fans, and if you have a management team, hopefully will carry you through the next like 5 years. But this AI shit won't matter. It's just this giant means of discouraging creative people from being creative and giving all creative authority to tech bros. Because at the end of the day, who is it for? If you can't draw, don't fucking draw. If you can't sing, don't fucking sing. Appreciate the people who can do it. Or support the people who can do it. Or just don't fucking get in the way of the people who can. But it's weird because it's almost like these tech companies are like, well, we're either going to have to keep on compensating content creators or our marketing team, or we can just eliminate both of those, use their name, image, and likeness on these fake ads so people don't even know if real people actually gave testimonials, and just outsource, and get a bunch of sales, develop this faulty community, get a bunch of bad reviews, and then have to shut our company down in 2 fucking days because the AI shut off on us, or because the customer reviews are just so absolutely piss poor because no human being from our side is interacting with them. The people who are using AI artists, they're building it right now, will spend all of the money they think they're going to make off these artists on rebuilding or actually trying to create something that will just never work rather than spending it on the real artist. And I'm cultivating real artists here and hopefully trying to pivot these mainstream stars into this new world that I see, recognizing the old world that they're currently existing in and sustaining probably with their fame and influence as I'm watching that burn. And if you look at all the executives, I'm going to put a picture up here of a couple of panels of music executives that you should probably go check out. Look how old these are. 80, 60, 70. Oh, wasn't even in the music business before he got an executive role at a entertainment company. Like what? Tech bro, finance bro, nepo baby, sack of shit. Like a bunch of just unqualified who are using AI as a means to validate themselves being in the creative business rather than recognizing AI should probably replace the non-creative people from the creative arts economy and ecosystem and then be the glue in between creative people so creative people not only create the culture but uphold the standard and get to gatekeep the culture from people who want to enter strictly to make profit off of us and gamble off of our lives and legacies. Fuck. So I'm kind of turned up right now. Just like this whole AI art shit, it just got me so fucked up. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just so turned. I think I might have to become a rock star. Just because. What else is worth explaining here? What else do you think matters? I feel like we've gotten into everything already. You guys want to talk about the competition? Who I feel like Tate's competition is to like be the superstar? That might be a good thing to get into for the last 15 minutes of our video. I'm not going to say that this isn't important, but these are kind of aspects that pertain more to the future of Tate's career, and they're more subjective stuff. It's like what lane she wants to take, what her current credibility is, and then where her career goals and focus is. But these are all aspects. I only wrote this here because these are going to be aspects for when Tate and subsequently all of you creative artists end up registering for my Creative Conscious platform. And once you get onto the Creative Conscious platform, then you're going to be able to be a part of that underground guild, that underground ecosystem of artists living in the digital age. And I think one of my best hacks is going to be not allowing AI generated art on there. How crazy is that going to be? The only place online with no AI generated art. I've already fallen for a video of Michael Jackson stealing somebody's McDonald's, a panther or it's like a lion, something of the sense of the feline species, ripping into somebody's door. And then he just again, this is all Sora AI. He just jumps in the corner of his couch and then just puts his ass out. I wish I could find the clip. I'll show it to you guys. All right, we got to get out of here then, huh? So, what do I think Tate's competition is, and why do I believe that Tate is either better or Tate has the capacity to surpass said competition? Let's get into it right now. This will be the last part of our video here because I think we've already kind of yapped as much as we can. Gracie Abrams, Nepo baby. It's very hard to be a Nepo baby in a creative arts field, especially competing against Tate in this sense. One, I believe that Tate's voice is better. Two, Gracie, okay, this is going to sound fucked up. I'm sorry, but I got to say it. Gracie doesn't have the same sex appeal as Tate and wouldn't be able to carry that confident energy, that super confident strut with my ass shaking one direction at a time, like, or each cheek going at a different pace than the leg. Like, she doesn't have that like sex appeal. She's almost like a Gone with the Wind artist in the sense that like there's only so many sad girl pop songs or like that, like, you know, the pop song I literally made at the beginning of this video. There's only so many of those you can make, especially being wealthy, not having a lot of depth, not really having life experience as it pertains to not having shit. I mean, is your dad not J.J. Abrams? Music, especially music right now, the fans, the audience, that we're waiting for life, authenticity, for rage, for somebody to just like, to everyone's miming right now and we're waiting for somebody to just look straight through the mime and just boom, and just literally punch us in the face with something new. Even if that new is rock or if it's just something outside of the norm. She's too perfectly in the norm that she's just going to get whatever she can get from the industry. I feel bad, honestly. She may be an actress at some point, but I don't think she's a musician. I'm sorry about that. Or she could be in a band, but she's not pop star. I'm sorry. Sabrina Carpenter, this is your biggest competition, Tate Mcrae. Sabrina Carpenter's got a machine working behind her. And I think next week we'll probably get into Sabrina. I don't know if I'm angry enough to get into Addison Rae yet, but next week we'll get into Sabrina Carpenter. Instead of her going the rock lane, which Tate Mcrae is going to go, she's actually going to go more of the soul, the groovy, funky 70s, 80s hip hop, almost like the aesthetic that Doja Cat's trying to pull off right now, the whole 80s cokehead look. Apart from the coke, of course. I'm not sure if our fair lady indulges in that type of extremity, but she's going to be in that funky, groovy soul sound. What inspired that perspective was her collaboration with Earth, Wind & Fire. That's where she's going to go. Unless she goes the Sydney Sweeney freaking MAGA influencer route, country, and then trad wife, and then just propaganda. Or just kind of maybe like a daytime talk show that nobody wants to watch. CC Kelly Clarkson for that. But Sabrina's your biggest competition, but I don't think you should worry about that because you guys sound different. So that's good. You both can exist in the same ecosystem at the same time and pull numbers out of this shit, which I believe is perfect. Next, the person that pisses me off the absolute most in this entire music industry. Like, pisses me off so bad that like my head wants to explode is Addison Rae. Mind you, Addison Rae is probably a good girl. Okay, I don't know if she's nasty or dirty or not, but that's not my business. You're probably a good person. You are probably one of the better people in this society and in that industry. So I don't want to make this about your humanity, about your character, about your belief system. You are a good person, Addison Rae. This isn't about you. This is about your team. This is about the industry. This is about music. Your team, you need to stop. Everybody on your team needs to get fired, and you need to start making underground music. Just do acting, do ads, do marketing, do something other than make music. All right? something other than make music. God fucking damn it. Okay, and you know why I say that? This is actually, I'm going to actually wait to include this specific part into my Kim Kardashian is the only reason why Addison Rae has a career. Because Kim Kardashian basically validated content creators pivoting, like literally being a rando, pivoting into being a content creator, and then pivoting that into being whatever you want, but then that whatever you want actually happens to be an identity that's so large or so grand, it allows the people to forget what types of fake roles that you assumed as a means of crawling your way from talentless to this role of genius, of credible, of artistic, of creative. Like, again, I understand Kanye was a horrible husband to Kim, but like they used Kanye to get her into high fashion. They used Kim Kardashian is not a high fashion model. And if Kim Kardashian is a high fashion model, why could you not put all the other black women who have those same curves naturally in there? I'm right, just like I usually am, just like I always am, bro. It's a point of saying, look at this. We found a way of making, again, Addison Rae may not be talentless, but that album was absolute dog. We found a way of making non-creative people create some kind of value, building a following and being able to sell to that following, and convert that into the talent. Our conversion rates, our consumer conversion rates are the talent now. And this consumer conversion rate is more talent, is now more of a talent than your ability to sing, your ability to play instruments, your ability to engage in a group, your ability to write music. Because we can't guarantee that anything, the authentic art you make will sell, but we can guarantee this person who knows how to submit to an algorithm will sell. So we're going to choose them all day. And then we're going to tell all of our artists to start selling themselves on TikTok. But then we totally forgot that most artists are the weirdest people you know. And every day they post on social media, they're making it harder and harder and harder for anybody to appreciate them because one, it's not their art, or two, they're weird as and they need a record label or a team of creatives or a creative collective to support them and build the hype and build the awareness and community for them, or at least give them an already preset community. Because most artists are weird as and we're nerdy and niche and don't know what the hell, how to be popular. But now you have to be popular to be credible. You don't even have to be a creative anymore. You just have to be popular now. And that's what Addison Rae validates in this system, bro. Popularity over actual passion for this. And then when you put people like that in and you give them live shows, you book them for 20,000, for 50,000, 100,000, you start up the game for everybody who's actually talented. And not only that, all the people who are independent, who are low key, who are local artists, who are fighting, making great music, developing along the way, just worked for 10 years. And now Addison Rae gets to wake up one day, say she wants to be an artist. And then next year she has a Billboard top 10 hit. And literally in that same year, she releases a debut album. This girl don't make no music. Zara Larsson. I don't believe Zara Larsson is competition in the sense that you have to, I don't like her. I think Zara Larsson has one, an amazing voice. I think two, I think she's a very beautiful woman. I think Zara Larsson is an absolute pop star. I just think that Zara Larsson doesn't have a team around her. And maybe it's because where she's from, that's not a music capital of the world. And maybe coming to America, I don't know if she even spends how much time she spends in America. But the thing that I hate for her is that we know her by her features. We don't know her by her catalog. And that's difficult because, like, she has all the tangibles, like all the intangibles to sell music. It's just like, how are we not selling? And the voice is amazing. The voice is amazing, bro. Like, I've heard this lady harmonize, bro, on a Pink Panthers song. And I'm like, poof, girl, the hell? Like, how it has to be something wrong with the team. I'm going to assume there's something wrong with the team because this girl is too beautiful. Her voice is too amazing, and she's too talented, bro. And she's been winning awards since like 10 years old, bro. So it's like credibility is already there. Talent and credibility are already there. It's like the girl's 27 right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? How have we not popped off with one album? She's had 5 albums, bro. None of them have gone number 1. None of them got like top 50, top 20. What are we doing? The girl can sing, bro. You don't have any writers in there? This is why I have to be a music executive, because it's like when you see me get like I get pissed off like this type of who's doing this in those 90s corporate offices. Give me the but by the end of all that, we have a number 1 record. And the way I speak to my kids, I mean my artists, I call my artists my kids. The way I speak to my artists, be honest with me, and I'll give you anything that you want. Do what I tell you to do. Actually, I won't give you anything you want. Do what I tell you to do. I'm going to give you every single thing and more that you need. All right? I'm going to give you every single thing and more than you need. And then you take that and get what you want. But the only thing that I need is you to do what I tell you to do. And I will give you everything you need to make sure that you have the capacity and the accommodation to get it done. And if you don't think you can get it done, it's because you don't believe in yourself. It's not because you don't have the things you need. And if you start getting done with the things that I'm helping you with, you're going to have access to the things that you want. That's not going to be an issue anymore. The next point will be deciding whether or not you still want what you thought you wanted back then before you had access to it. Because we got those issues figured out early, bro. We want you to be an artist now. We want you to be creative. We want you to be in this culture for life. Nah. That's how I treat it. That's how I treat it. Zara Larson, beautiful girl. Blessings on your journey, man. You're going to get, if we do this, if me and my gang at Rebel Soul Records, can start saving careers, bro, Zara Larson, we're coming for you. We're going to get you. Personally, again, nothing against Olivia Rodrigo. I don't think she should go into rock. They're trying to make it look like she does punk rock music or whatever the it is. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Not at all. It's so corporatized. It's so corporatized. And she already has, again, just like Addison Rae, already had a bajillion followers before any of this started. Music comes best when it's literally the one thing that you got to live off of, or it's the only thing you would do to live. And it's coming from people who've been given identities, given scripts, given songs to sing, given tools. Like, yeah, she can play the piano. She plays all these instruments. And I think she's talented, very talented. And even she's a beautiful girl, bro. Maybe not my type personally, but that's a beautiful girl, bro. It's the industry that we hate it right now because it's so cookie cutter. It's not even nostalgia anymore. It's just ripping somebody from 25 years ago, from 50 years ago, and then just slapping it onto a new talented person because you look like this, you sing like this, so let's just wear this mask. No. The beautiful part about this art is that we're expressing how we feel right now about today, about what's going on right in our times, how we feel right now, who we are right now, what the experience of living feels like from our perspective. That's how we get these new sounds, new songs, new lyrics, and new concepts. Because everybody's living life, and so few people can genuinely communicate it, and even fewer people can communicate it in a way that is consumable by the masses. All right? Like it's almost like we act like music is just some luxury. Going to live shows is a luxury. Hearing your favorite artist is a luxury, as if it's not something that's essential, supposed to be happening. People performing, people creating, people expressing, and people receiving and appreciating. We act like that's not a freaking human right, bro. Fight for your right to part. Actually, I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift's fucking husband says that shit, and that's already burnt out. That's already burnt. It's already burnt. I don't even want to say that shit no more. Clip that. Cut that shit out. Actually, leave it in. I'm just making shit up. I edit my own videos. Billie Eilish. I mean, does that say Billie Eyelash? I wrote that. Okay, so Billie Eyelash. I don't think that I think she's too big. Okay, whoa. That sounds fucked up. Not speaking about size. I'm speaking about her brand is too mainstream. Do not fucking clip that. If anybody sees this video, do not clip that. Please, I'm begging you. Again, I don't want any of this to be about any of these ladies' characters. Like these are all probably very sweet, amazing, great, empathetic people. More than not. I don't know. Now I'm playing. They probably all are. Oh, this is marketing. This is branding. This is business. That's why it sounds so cutthroat and sounds so aggressive. This is business. Kids don't play business, bro. Kids get played all the day, all around in business. Kids don't play business. Kids are probably used in business. When we're having business level conversations, you got to realize we got to speak of things as they are because money is on the line. Careers are on the line. Credibility is on the line. We got to say it how it is because your feelings don't really fucking matter as it pertains to this shit. That's why people would rather complain for 20 years about a career that could have been rather than actually have a successful career. It's a lot easier to do the first than it is to actually create the latter. Billie Eilish her career is too up there. Like her career is too there already. I think, and I'm saying that as almost like an appreciation or a congratulations, the Grammys, the major award shows, the major showings, the headlining events, she's done it. She's in a position to where she can choose to do music her whole life, or she can pivot into whatever else she wants to do, but the music has provided a lifestyle to live forever off of. She can be a junkie for the rest of her life if she wants to, and that's her choice. That's an option I'm always leaving available for myself when I get rich. If I just want to be, like, I'm trying to get so rich to where if I want to just be a junkie for the rest of my life, I could be a junkie for the rest of my life, even if I get rich at like 25. Because I got rich. Because I did it my way. You fuck. What we're speaking on is but I guess we can, actually, I don't have enough time because, we only have like 5 minutes back in here. So I guess the more important part about the Billie Eilish conversation is who is Billie Eilish going to transition into when she stops cosplaying 2000s rappers and queerbaiting? Who will Billie Eilish be after she stops queerbaiting? I know you'll be doing it. And wearing 2000s rap clothes. And then making statements like,
damn. So nice to see everybody looks like me in here.
in a room full of white people in Ireland. So glad to see everybody looks like me in here, huh? Right? Shut your ass up, bro. Okay. Because we only have like probably 2 minutes left for this, how about I guess we'll just do this as I'm cleaning up all my stuff. So the audiences, now that we've kind of discussed the whole Tate Mcrae situation, where I think she can go, where the career's going, all that stuff, let's speak about her audience and where she should put her focus in as it pertains to the audience. White girls, you can sell all day, gang. You can sell white girls all day. So give white girls a girl to look up to. Teen girls, that's your main audience. And not just teen girls, again, I guess 18 to or not 18. Basically anybody who looks up to you, which is probably like as low as 9 years old, 9 years old to like 35. Girls who just who feel like they're living their hot girl era through your music. So the main audience that we're focusing on, again, is teen girls because it's like girls who want somebody to look up to. And again, the reason why I said I was cool with Tate Mcrae sexualizing herself, and I understand this is going to be very kind of controversial as it pertains to me saying that teen girls are the first audience or like the most prime audience for this type of person, is because you have an opportunity, even when it comes to engaging in sex, you have an opportunity to educate. When your kid comes up to you asking about the birds and the bees or saying, somebody wanted to touch me there or somebody said something about this, blah, 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 that's either you shutting them down and shaming them or you giving them an opportunity to come to terms with the truth and you helping educate them through that confusion so they don't have to be victims of ignorance or victims of naivete because they don't know any better or because nobody wanted to help enlighten them as to those types of circumstances that are very taboo in our society. So don't think of Tate Mcrae as turning these girls into just like sex objects or sex symbols. Tate is showing them how to be confident in their body, confident in their self-expression, confident in themselves as a woman in a world that doesn't want women to feel good about themselves. Think about it like that. It's going to change your perspective. The gays and the girl bosses. The girl bosses are the girls who, again, living lifestyle. I'm going to get kicked out of here soon. Living lifestyles, or at least appreciating the lifestyle that Tate is promoting in the sense of like, we're hot girls, we're sexy girls, we do what we want, we have fun, we make good music, we dance, we shake our bottoms, we just do what we want. That type of shit is always going to be legendary. So, and she always, like Tate is always incorporating the gays into her music and in her dances and her videos and to her like everything. So I love that. And I think it's very important that she is doing some type of like pro-LGBTQ activism to reinforce that she humanizes those in her audience that are spinning this type of way, the rainbow lifestyle. Because I think the gay women and the gays are some of the most committed women, of course, number one, but the women and the gays are the most committed audiences that you could ever have in this life. They buy consistently, they support you, they put your products out there, they give you an opportunity to be seen, they'll represent you, they'll get into photo shoots for you, it's very, very important about cultivating audiences and making sure that your audience knows that beyond them being able to consume from you, they are still going to be humanized by you outside of what they can produce for you. Final audience, boys like me. Final is boys like me who listen to Tate Mcrae and love Tate Mcrae, not just because she's sexy and beautiful and amazing, but because she makes great music. I got to get out of here right now. I will catch you guys later. But yeah, hold on. Yeah. My bad. I'm getting out of here right now. Yeah, basically boys like me who like Tate Mcrae and like Tate Mcrae's music and are just ashamed to have that type of music in our audiences and whatnot, or in our playlist and whatnot. Tate, we love you. We want to be seen and heard by you. Gonna have to conclude this video here. We'll keep, if there's any more I have to add, I'll just add it into next week's video. But thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys can still see me. I am gone because I'm getting kicked out of here in like 2 minutes.